grand setting. Today I want us to talk about the energy grid. Just wanted to expand it more on it, but I want to talk about the flower of life. The flower of life is everywhere, right? And everybody knows the flower of life. Your children knows the flower of life. Animals know the flower of life. It's just around you. If you can pay attention to the sky and look up into the sky, you'll see this flower of life, but in an energy grid. That's one way that's very advanced for you to understand how the flower of life really does operate. Because many people, they look at the flower of life as something that is single. We can talk the whole entire day and days if we have to talk about the flower of life, how it can actually express itself from duality, from balance, from the Merkaba system especially. I'll talk about that. From creating an alchemy, from immortality, from using this energy to program a certain aspect of energy you want to see and perceive, or you want to carry out in a particular place, or for a destination, right? The flower of life is part of time traveling. As a matter of fact, everything that you do that has spiritual relation in it, there is the principle of the flower of life that needs to take place. So it is life on its own. It says it all. And most of the time people, they think they don't know the flower of life. They'll say that's the first time I see the flower of life. It's not really that. The confusing part is all about when it is now been put in a word for you to say, oh, this is the flower of life. I can change it right now and give it a different name, but it'll never change the sense of its energy, because that's what it is. It is energy. It's not something that you can literally see with your physical eyes. It's more invincible, but they give it the term flower of life because it is the easiest way to describe it for people to understand how it looks like, so that when you put an imagination, you become close to it and start to understand how it works and operates. It's more like an image that you need to perceive. It might be through visualization, because that's one way the flower of life is able to work powerfully for you to put an imagination to it. And if you're able to manipulate energy, then you'll be able to understand the flower of life, how it operates, right? It's a healing beacon. It's a lot. But why people need to understand that a flower of life is not something, it's more like a crystallized technology. An energy grid is one, it is very, very important in one's life. An expression of an energy grid from its invincible sense, like your diamond or pyramid or that pattern, to extend its form of power and pleasures, is when now there's a physical crystal that's at play, right? There's a physical crystal that is at play. And that's one way you can be able to understand how this technology functions, because in the spiritual world, it is invincible, but when you bring it here to become physical and visible, it is through the crystals, which then brings the energy grid. And an energy grid is more like a pattern that can be drawn and be programmed as well. See, that's why I'm saying that the flower of life is very, very complex. And so many people, even the people that have actually studied it, they haven't actually got the full sense of what it is, because most of the people are studying it from the books. As an old soul, I've always engaged with the flower of life. And one thing about the books, it's not that I usually tell people that if you're going to read a book, make sure that the source is correct and there's full information there, because the books that you read, The truth is there. But there's a part of the truth that puts all the puzzle together. They take it out all the time. That's what I don't like about books. You'll never get the full thing. They'll tell you practice this and this and that, but you won't actually arrive there, because you will know within that there's something missing here, and you won't find it because you're still attached to the book. So sometimes it's more like having to go inside and research for you to actually complete that book that was given to you. It's like when they give you a remote that has one battery. You will know that this remote has one battery and how it functions, but because there's no any other piece of the battery to complete that puzzle, you won't be able to know how the remote operates. And that's what they do in books. And I'm still saying I really don't read books. People usually ask me, how do you know this information? I'm an old soul. That's the only thing that I can say, because if I continue telling you how, it'll be more confusing, because it's very it's a lot to take in for you to understand. I look like somebody who's just lying, but I'm an old soul. These things, they keep on coming within, and it's downloads after downloads. So this is the energy grid, right? That's the energy grid. And to demonstrate this, people usually see portals in different places, right? And I want you to know today that a portal can never be without an energy grid. Now, this is the wooden energy grid. And the reason why a wood is able to generate an more extensive power to the field of a crystal that is more like a copper. So it makes sense to have a flow of an energy grid like this in order for you to stimulate and generate so much power with the crystals, because crystals like that. Crystals have power on its own, but in order for you to open a portal or something, because first of all, that's what energy grids do. They open portals. Now these portals, you can't see them with your physical eyes, but you can see them spiritually, because they are more like invincible. So that's the most important thing when it comes to the energy grid. Putting your crystals according to this pattern and activating those crystals by intention, right? With the very same system that's inside, which you are the flower of life to generate in the physical reality. And if you are a healer, I would advise you to get the energy grid and get crystals. If you have patients that you want to heal, you can make this energy grid with crystals and generate them with your clear quartz, right? You generate them with your clear quartz and put the intention to open a portal that whosoever that comes in your room that you're going to heal, it makes it easy, for the people to receive healing. That's when now you open a portal to do that, and you program it that anybody that comes in this room, they're gonna get the healing. Immediately when you start to steam that healing inside of them. So the energy grid, it's something which you can also draw the pattern on the floor as well, because like in order for you to do this, because even though you do the energy grid, I would advise people to place it on the floor, on the ground, because even if you can draw an energy grid from the ground, you can be able to still create that portal to open it, right? It doesn't have to be the flowers of life like this, but the pattern, if there's a diamond, there's a pyramid, and you have a way to function it according to the circulation of energy, which is the flow of life, then you can be able to put crystals and make a grid. Because this grid, when it is like this, right, nothing comes in unless if you have programmed it to come in, especially if you're creating an energy grid to absorb negative entities, right? And nothing comes out unless if you put the intention, because it's all about programming. It's no different when you program a crystal or anything, right? So these are one of these are important tools for you to understand how to extend the power of energy, right, to generate it. Because it's like, even though you program a crystal and set up the intention on the energy grid, you put all those crystals, right, according to the pattern of how you'd like it to be. Then you program it. You can go to Cape Town, United States, and you leave this, let's say you leave this energy grid in your room at Gauteng, right? Wherever you go, the energy grid will be connected with you. If you have made an energy grid and there's crystals, putting them on, and the intention is to protect you, that will happen. Even if you leave it for as long as it's not going to be messed around, even if you leave it for like years, the energy grid will continue serving you. You get what I'm saying? Because it is a grid within, like, it's more like maintaining a specific energy according to the circulation of what's actually put up here, right? So it grids everything into one place in that motion. Then when you activate it, it starts to play according to how you want it to be like for you, right? So when you practice Merkaba, there's like two tetrahedrons, more famously known as the two tetrahedrons, but there's more like three tetrahedrons, right? Because the first one is the one that actually looks upward as a pyramid form, that represents the male, which is the sun, and the one that looks down, it represents a woman, which is earth, right? No moon involved. People give credit to the moon, yet when it comes to the sense of being at the highest level, it's not there. In order for you to function that, or your Merkabas, only the sun and the earth needs to be at play, because that's the only representation. Then the third tetrahedron is the one that's in the middle. If you're a male figure, it needs to face upwards. If you're a female figure, it needs to face downwards. That one doesn't move an inch, but the only two tetrahedrons that's above and below, representing the sun and earth, is the one that actually spins counterclockwise and clockwise. And when you continuously are practicing your Merkaba, you'll understand that after a circulation field, there's a grid that follows that looks like this pattern, and instantly, like, you will see this right, you will see this instantly when you start to practice your Merkaba. Then you start to understand the grid around you, and it's even there right now. That's why I'm saying that everybody is connected with this energy grid, and everybody knows it, and most of the time you guys see it. And when you see the orbs of light in the dark room, that's where now the particles of the energy grid is starting to flow around you as a pattern. All you have to do is balance and understand them, right? So you are the energy, you are the flow of life, and you are the image of God, but not in the sense that people look at it. God is not in flesh, but it is a consciousness, right? Your consciousness is the image of God. Your spirit is the image of God. Your soul is the image of God. And what completes all of that is your Merkaba. That is the real image of God, your Merkaba. Everybody has it. Every animal has it. So you can just be creative with an energy grid, but it takes one to study it the most, right? Because even though you start to draw this flower of life or flowers of life as an energy grid, automatically this creates this powerful relation with you for you not to start to understand. It's like I thought I was gonna teach people this if you're practicing your macabre. Like the more you look at the two tetrahedrons, the one that's up spinning counterclockwise and the one that's clockwise and all of that, the more you program yourself to understand how the macabres operates. And sometimes by just looking at it for a very long time, it can activate your macabre. I'm telling you, by just looking at it every day or drawing it every day, right? Then this energy grid comes at play, because the energy grid, it can be a form of a shield as well, because it's the two tetrahedrons, the third one that's in motion, that's in the same place. Then it is your prana energy with the ball of light, and it is the disc. Then it is the expression of the big circulation that holds the tetrahedrons. Then after that, it is the energy grid. It's more like a shield. So when you start to understand this, you'll realize that you can be able to create an energy grid anyway with the flow of a meditation. It'll always be invisible, but it holds power. All you have to do is program it, right? All you have to do is program it. And same thing that applies with an energy grid. You put up crystals, program it according to what you want it to serve you with. Then that brings this great cosmic light in the space or field or wherever you are. So don't forget this. You are the flow. You are the flow of life. You are the energy grid, and the whole entire planet has it. And simulation is part of it as well. So study this and find it within and connect it with your heart.